You're listening to Room 3026 live.
Live.
Episode 474. This is a 60-minute conversation ranging from technology to pop culture. And I'm your host, Damon Nolan. We are broadcasting live. Right here in Durham, North Carolina. It's
Live.
lunch hour in the Onyx Tower.
Yes, y'all.
Today, my co-hosts are Mr. Derek Brinson
AKA the world's funkiest man. Stay funky, my friends.
and Mr. Michael Render.
I doozy.
And as always, we encourage listener participation. That means that you can join the conversation. All you got to do is give us a call via the telephone at 646-929-2689. Again, that's 646-929-2689. You can also chat with us right now.
Come on.
Go to blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. And you can click on today's episode. All you got to do is go to that website, the big on-air bar across the top. Click on
It's
that.
red. You click on it and you're there.
Scroll down to the bottom. And
Which, clearly you know that already if you're in the chat room. But
that's right. Want to give a special thanks to Mr. Darren Tyler for providing our theme song. We call it Without You.
that is its title.
That means without you, we would not be where we are today. So let me say thank you to you for listening live in an archive. We still thank you.
Thank you.
Now let me turn to the chat room and say hi to those who are walking in the room right now. Let me say hi to Mr. Alan Tran. What's going on, sir? We also got Dyslexic in America. That's LL. And we got the one and only Miss Eileen.
Who we love?
That's right. Miss Smith, thank you very much for joining us. Want to thank all of you listening live in the archive. Thank you, and thank you again. Listen, on this episode, we are going to talk about a number of things. Let me give you
Like we
kind of a
frequently do.
clue into the first thing we're going to talk about today.
Known in the radio business as a tease.
We're going to talk a little bit about this new augmented reality. If you guys haven't seen this yet, Sesame Street has launched a brand new playground, if you will, or a playset. It's entirely an augmented reality toy, and I think you guys are going to really like it. Also, we're going to look at a brand new phone from HTC. It's the brand new flagship Android device from HTC. It's called the One X. We're going to talk about that as well in this episode, and much, much more. So stick around. So while you guys are walking in, let me say hi to Tim Arthur, who just walked in. Also, I want to say thank you for DB Funky for getting in the chat room.
Hello.
Thank you guys for joining us. It's Monday, man, and it's a little gloomy outside as I look out my window. It was raining this morning on the way in. Thankfully, there were no major accidents on the way in. So be careful on the way home tonight if you are anywhere where it's raining or snowing or any sort of precipitation.
I got here before it started raining because I looked outside. I was like, when did it start raining?
And it really began to come down. Thankfully, I had an umbrella in my car because, you know, my hair would look a little rough.
You did have one Friday, so.
I did, yeah. Matter of fact, I got 3 in here. I didn't realize I had 3 umbrellas in the house, and the family kept asking, Damon, where are all the umbrellas that you used to have? And I said, I don't know. And then I get into the office, and sure enough, all 3 of them are sitting right here in the room. So, sorry, I got all the umbrellas.
Whoops.
Yeah, well, you know, when it comes to the Soul Glow, the Jerry Curl juice that I got in my fro, I can't let it rip down my forehead now, can I?
That would be, yes.
You get that Soul Glow.
That would be less than appealing.
Just let it shine through. Soul Glow.
That would be less than appealing.
If anybody that doesn't know where that song came from, it came from Coming to America.
Very good movie.
Soul Glow.
I thought that was Hollywood Shuffle.
No, Soul Glow. Anyway, thanks for joining us, y'all. Anyway, let me give you a quick announcement. Don't forget this upcoming Wednesday, the Triangle AMA Digital Marketing Training Camp. That's February 29th. That's 2 days from now at the Briar Creek Country Club. We will be there. Mike has just gave me his announcement. I need for you to register today, Mike. You have to.
Come on, man.
Go register right now.
Okay.
We're going to be
I
there.
would if I could, but I can't.
Well, we're gonna replace you for the day. Tim Arthur's gonna join us.
Shouldn't be all that hard. All you need a couple of good one-liners. You repeat them during the course of the week, and there you have me.
Boom. Your makeshift Derek Brinson.
Boom.
But Tim Arthur will be joining us. We're going to do 2 hours. The first hour, we'll be interviewing a number of guests. We'll need to pull that together, which we'll record, and we'll also play at some other point in the week. We'll also do our show live from the event, which is going to be interesting. Hopefully everything works out as it should. I'll try to get everything taken care of between now and then so that we can get our things straight. But we're going to do it live from the event. So if you are in the area, please come on down. You can go to triangleama.org. Again, that's triangleama.org. Click on the event. It's the Digital Marketing Training Camp 2012. And if you want to, I can give you a special discount for 10% off the registration fee, which use this. This is given to us. So by all means, please use it. It's DMBC10. Again, that's DMBC10 to get your 10% off of the price. It is right now available for you, so go register and come check us out at the table.
At the table.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going to be. I just figured we'll be there somewhere.
In the lobby.
We'll take some pictures.
Standing around.
Right?
Talking.
Hopefully we got a microphone in our hand at some point.
Yeah.
That would help if we're going to
right?
try to do the show live.
Yeah, hey, yes, come on over to the table. We're going to talk to you I know Greg Ing will be there, so if I can't get him on the show, during the rest of the week, and I'm going to get him this week. I don't care what he's doing. I'm gonna pull him on the show.
You're gonna be like like Bill O'Reilly's stalker assistant, just goes and be chasing people down.
I'm pulling a microphone
at the grocery store and all that. Just be putting a microphone in the face.
Hey man,
you need to address this issue.
Hey man. No, I'll say this to his credit. He has said that he would come on the show. All we gotta do is ask him. Just schedule him on. Greg said, "I'll come on the show anytime you want, man. Just let me know."
He's been on, right?
No, Greg's never been on. Well,
no,
we were on his show. Well, I guess he has.
I was gonna say that counts, right?
Well, it does kind of, but we were kind of on his show while he was on our show,
right?
So it's kind of like we were on each other's show at the same time.
It was like a parallel universe.
It was. That was really a weird but cool experience.
That's what I'm saying.
So I guess he was on the show.
Kind of putting a mirror into
another
mirror.
But he was
kind of on his show too. Or
we were on his show.
And he was on ours.
It was on Freezer Burns. Remember, it was the 24-hour Freezer Burns from November.
And he was on ours.
And he was. And Derek was at the helm. And we did ask a few questions. But I would like to kind of put him on the spot to say, look, because he was asking me a lot of questions. He's like, what do you think about this dish? And I was like, yeah, no, it's cool. So I like to bring him on our show. And if he wants to like do a, hey, I'm also from my show to your show, parallel universe thing, it could happen.
Again.
Put a mirror in another mirror and just don't say those three magic words, because then things start imploding and no one wants that.
Oh, man. Anyway.
The results could be dire.
It's going to be a great conference, Tim says. I agree, man.
Consequences.
It's going to be a great conference. It's a full-day event, so we're not going to be in the office all day Wednesday. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to bring good stuff. I'm going to be doing some live blogging from the event, so keep your eyes on DamonNolan.com for my sessions. I'll be blogging that, and whatever we can do on the air, we'll do on the air. So
is this where we talk about our weekend?
Did you have a weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Clearly he did. He fed you. He fed you the pitch, dude.
You fidgeting?
I finally finished. Well, technically, I finished season 3 of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I got like 15 minutes left in the last episode, but
it's a good show.
Yeah, that's good TV right there.
So when I tell you that there's a good
I
show,
knew it was good. I just never got a chance to actually jump into it. So
I will say thanks to Tim though, because Tim kind of turned me on to it.
Well, Q, one of our coworkers here, he turned me on to it. So, but
how can he turn you on to it when I turned you on to it?
Well, he turned me on to it before Tim turned you on to it. So
I don't know if I like all this turn-ons because it's a bunch of dudes.
I'm just saying.
It's a pausable moment.
I'm just saying. It was before that.
Okay.
And then you came later.
Oh, so I came second. So I'm a sloppy second, huh? However it happens, that's what it happened, huh?
Yeah. But and the All-Star game was good last night too, if anybody watched it. Don't critique LeBron too bad. He didn't take the last shot.
That's what I heard. I heard that he didn't.
Yeah,
he was scared.
Passed, yeah.
How do you pass on a
after
few seconds of the game?
In the All-Star game.
And he made 2 threes before he could have made a third. So
shame.
Yeah.
Scared.
I was kind of upset.
Someone said he's not a finisher.
I don't think he is.
He plays good, but he never finishes.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan would never have passed.
And they said,
last second, no.
And they were mad that He didn't. He hasn't done the dunk contest yet either. Reggie Miller was getting on him on that, saying that all the great players have done it at least once.
Maybe this is a sign he's not a great player.
Hey, that's what I was about to say.
Can't finish.
Can't finish.
Can't
Won't
dunk.
take the last shot.
Oh, he can dunk. He just doesn't.
He can dunk. He just ain't done it in the dunk contest.
Yes, he just.
All the
The dunks he
greatest.
was doing last night were stupid,
Okay.
They're ridiculous.
Gotcha.
redunculous.
That I did see.
Dun,
filmed
dun,
in
dun, dun,
Redunk
dun,
around.
dun, dun.
So I didn't even watch the Oscars. So I don't know.
Who watches the Oscars?
Oddly
I
enough,
heard Chris Rock said some
I watched
funny
the-
stuff.
Yes, oddly enough, I watched the Oscars. I
Talk
never
about-
do, but it was on, and I was
Talk about donkeys and zebras.
Someone did say that he should be the host of the show.
I
He's
saw a
done it
tweet.
once, right?
I saw a tweet, but they were like,
was
dude,
that an Oscar thing or was that?
I know he hosted some award show.
Billy
like-
Crystal was the host
Yeah,
of this one.
yes, indeed. This year, indeed, he was. I'm trying to think if I don't know. I don't normally watch these award shows at all,
Yeah.
but so I know that Chris Rock did one recently. I thought it might have been the Grammys, but yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Cool weekend.
It was all right.
Sons of
Well,
Anarchy.
we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute.
Sons of Anarchy.
No. Dude, you're like behind. Like, how
Man,
many
they-
seasons?
They like on season 5, right?
So you're like behind. So
It's
keep,
on Netflix?
Keep going.
Well, see, the bad thing is, and this is what made me mad about Netflix. Season 4 is it on there? Yeah.
I don't know because I had been watched it. So
Oh, so you seen season 4 too?
I've seen everything up into the latest.
Oh,
Because you had to pay to see that.
Well, I have a secret source,
A little bit of can't
but you can still use Netflix until you go as far as you need to go.
yeah. It only goes to season 3.
Well, you go as far as you need to go.
Gosh, I'm about to buy the app because it has all the episodes on that.
Okay.
See, there you go.
Cool.
So
It's a good. It's a good show, though. It's a good show. All right. Well, let's move on, shall we? Let's go to FeedWatch.
FeedWatch?
Yeah. Let's dive right on in. Let's just get into the news.
Thanks, Tim.
Feed watch.
All right. FeedWatch is where we regularly attempt to comb the blogs
Sporadically.
Semi-regularly.
so that you don't have to.
That's consistently enough.
We give the news that you can use because that's what we do.
Dirty job, someone's got to do it.
So you best not snooze.
Pause.
You will not lose. Unless, of course, you just enjoy singing the blues.
No,
A boo-hoo.
I don't enjoy it.
So earlier,
LeBron fans clearly do.
I mentioned that the Sesame Street has launched an augmented reality playset
Huh?
that is pretty awesome.
Am I a man or am I a Muppet?
You know, and the Muppets did fairly well. I think they won an Oscar this weekend.
Yeah.
So Muppets are still in.
I'm with it. They're yeah,
So
I'm with it.
puppeteers are cool.
They are cool.
Well, certain ones, if you do it right, if you do it in a cool way, yeah, sure.
Well, I have something that's very cool. Now, I've been a fan of this augmented reality thing for quite some time. And I think we talked about this a few weeks ago when I was first introduced to what augmented reality really is. And I think what it was is that you could, initially when I got turned on to it, was you could print out a piece of paper, and then you could take this piece of paper and put it in front of your
Screen.
webcam.
Right.
And then the webcam would then change that piece of paper
To do things.
to do things.
Yes.
Like this one came from GE, and I think the first one I printed out, it would make a windmill come up, and you could blow into it, and the windmill would actually turn.
Yes.
Right? So I was like, that is very cool. Look, and then you could turn the paper up and down, sideways, and however you held it, it knew how to adjust this
Yes,
windmill.
it would reorient the augmented reality animation accordingly. Yes.
That's correct.
That was yes, I remember you showing me that.
So in this new augmented reality world, right, there's an example I'm going to show you guys in just a second. I have a video that I want you guys to see. But essentially what it is a 3D version of Bert and Ernie's house. Okay, and well, I'm going to describe it to you. There is a pad. It looks like just a regular flat pad that you put on your regular table, and you can look at it. And it has a bunch of little squiggly lines, like some kind of design on it. Then you can pull out your iPad. I think in the example that they used here is that you can take out your iPad and use the camera of your iPad, right? So you kind of hold it up in both of your hands, and you aim the camera at this pad. Now what happens is as soon as you put the camera on the pad, Bert and Ernie's house opens up. So it's like the pad becomes 4 walls or 3 walls. And as you turn your iPad around that little square on the ground, the little pad, you can see the inside of Bert and Ernie's house. So you can see like a picture of Bert and Ernie on the side, and you can turn it around and you can see this entire house. And then this is when it gets really cool. So then what you can do is you can then take little figurines of Bert and Ernie, and you put them on top of the mat.
True.
Okay? And once you do that, there will be a virtual version of Bert and Ernie in.
Like, are they chilling in the house?
They're actually, yeah, they're like,
Oh,
so you can move the character
very
around,
cool.
right? And as you move it around, what is a real figurine in your hand becomes a virtual character that he talks and sings and moves around and everything.
Really?
So you can adjust like where he goes. Like, oh, I'm gonna go over here,
Rubber ducky.
and he talks to you exactly. And then so one example, he says, hey, Ern. Let's bring a television set in here. So you have another figurine that's a television set, and you drop it on top of this pad, and it then transforms into a virtual television set that
Man.
plays movies.
Thanks, Bert. Thanks a lot, Bert. Buddy Bert.
That just freaks me out.
Yeah.
I mean, no, not the Bert and Ernie impersonations.
No, sorry.
No, that's the idea of what you were just talking about.
That's right.
That's very interesting.
It's very cool.
in a
I can see
spooky kind
homes
of way.
being sold that way, and they'll like put you in the house and stuff.
There's a lot of potential for this
Military.
virtual augmented reality thing.
Video games. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Another
All
example.
kinds of training, medical training. They're already doing it big in the Xbox, the Kinect format. Add this to it, man.
Boom.
Dude.
Let me give you a little bit of this. Let me give you the URL to this video so you guys can kind of see it for yourself. Ernie. Here you go. I want you guys to see
No
this
one
for
ever
works
works up an Ernie.
Yeah, because it's not cool.
There you go.
It's hard.
Barney Rubble.
So I want you guys to see this. Just kind of see for yourself. But some other things that they've done is they put in a jukebox in there as well, and it will start playing music, and then that Bert and Ernie will start dancing.
Word.
So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with this that will potentially just change the face of how we interact with this. Now, if you guys are looking at the video, you can probably skip ahead a little bit in your video there.
Does he work for Sesame Street?
So there's the pad. You can kind of see like a little purple pad, and then you can see the figurines.
Hey, Bert.
And then she pulls out the iPad, and then it becomes the house,
Dude.
right? And so as she turns the
It
screen
adds
around-
it adds this 2-dimensional thing, and it kind of brings a third dimension, and then you move around in
But
that
nothing's on the
piece of
pad
paper
for
with
Right.
the third dimension. See, you see how it
So
how it
then look, she puts
throws
the
the
figurine
walls up
there.
and stuff.
Boom. Now
So
it
you
becomes
put
a
the-
figurine, and it's talking to you. Hey guys, why don't you invite one of my friends? Okay, come on. And see what he
So you put this. So he was digitized into a 3-dimensional
That's
moving theater. Once you put the figurine in the
Boom.
thing.
Here
so
goes
you-
my friend.
I mean, this is sort of like that movie. I can't think of the name. But
What movie would that be?
it sounds like Smron.
Go into the actual world. Anyway, just some more
You're
details.
off the grid, man. You're off the grid.
Dude.
Now, so
Derek, you wanna go
yeah,
off
it's
the grid?
really, isn't that cool though?
Wow.
It's very cool. And
I'm
you see
freaking
they're,
out, man.
and they're and so as you move the character around the field, it moves the character.
In the
virtual-
iPad display that is 3-dimensional and fully animated, which I think it's important to explain that the 2-dimensional, that the figurines that you put on the
Wow.
pad
they're
are
watching the
not
episode.
animated.
Right, as a television episode on the television set behind him.
So you put this other inanimate plastic piece in there that is shaped kind of like a television, and you look at it through the iPad, and becomes animated as
Exactly.
like showing television show. Dude,
That's awesome.
that's freaky.
Yeah. So this is something that will be available on your smartphone as well as your tablets. It's going to be using your camera to kind of make this work.
Wow.
Yeah. See, they're playing music in the
So
whole
now
screen.
now the whole floor turns into like a lighted disco joint, and the walls, which don't exist in the version that you. Wow,
Yeah.
They're just standing there.
Yeah.
it's hard to explain. We're
it's-
talking 3 dimensions and
But it is
trying to
cool.
express things verbally. Check the video link, friends. It's
Definitely. Got to
really-
see it.
It's kind of cool.
But the technology behind this was developed by Qualcomm as a part of an augmented reality platform, Play. Now, there's no set date.
Play?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Out of Atlanta?
I'm not certain. I don't know.
I think I know those guys socially. Dude, they've been telling me about this for a minute, like years, and they've been, dude,
That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah.
this might be my boys, man.
But think about this the long term.
Wait till I tell my wife.
Yeah.
Who's got a
Baby,
bathtub?
turn your web radio
Right.
up.
Uh,
I think it's Jeremy and them, sweetie.
so there you go. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. So again, there's no set date when this is going to come out, but some people are speculating that it could come out before Christmas. And obviously, if this is the case, think about the possibilities of what you can do with this.
Yeah, because they've been doing. If this comes from the same people that I think it comes from, they've been doing this kind of thing on a corporate level for a minute.
Right.
And the idea that they're getting ready to, baby, look up real estate in Atlanta.
It's time to jump on board. All right. Well, let me move on to another.
They might can afford me by now. I mean,
Another thing in the news. Let's talk about this new Android phone coming out from HTC. Now, this one, as far as I know, came out yesterday. At least the announcement came out yesterday. And we talked a little bit about this on our weekend show, the Tech Monks. And I wanted to bring it to you guys as well because I know that there are some Android lovers. I tell you, I was surrounded by iPhone lovers in
Yeah, I
that
saw
room.
the hate last
It
night.
was incredible. Mac and iPhone lovers all over the place. I was like the only one holding it down. So I'm going to bring it back to our show, the daily show, where I know we have more iPhone haters than we have lovers. Maybe the word hate is a poor choice.
a little strong.
Let's use Android supporters. Let's just
Android
leave it at that.
enthusiast.
But there's a new phone coming from HTC, and it is called the One X. It is actually a part of a single brand that HTC is working on right now, which essentially will range from the most expensive to some of the least expensive phones. The HTC One X is actually their flagship phone for this under this new brand of the One, or the One brand. The One. And let me give you a little details as what it is. Now, as I continue to go into some of these details, I want to point out something that I've been reading across many of the blogs, and that is that this is the phone that the Galaxy Nexus should have been. That's the theme that I'm kind of getting from these reviews. This is the phone that the Galaxy Nexus, the Samsung version of their flagship phone, should have been. It's very interesting. So let me give you some of the details as to what this is. Now, the new phone, again, from HTC, is a 4.7 inch. Now, that's definitely smaller than the Galaxy Nexus.
I need big. I need big phone.
It's bigger than the Evo, but it's smaller than the Galaxy Nexus.
I need big phone.
It's
bigger than the Evo. Okay.
because I think the Evo is 4.5.
Right.
This one's 4.7. It's a quad-core Tegra 3.
Tegra.
So it's definitely going to be much faster, a little bit snappy in how you use it. Some of the things that they're bringing to our attention is the camera, which is supposed to be pretty awesome. As a matter of fact, one of the best cameras in
mobile device.
Exactly. That's pretty much what I'm hearing. It's an 8 megapixel camera, which is really what I would have hoped the Galaxy Nexus would have had.
Yeah, I think it was like
a
4,
5 or 6. Something. It wasn't an 8. Or so anyway, it's that. It also has a 0.7 second camera, so that's how fast you can take cameras. Like click, click.
Wow.
It's not like click, click. It's a really fast taking phone. Also, it captures light in a way that will allow you to take really good pictures even in low levels of light. Unlike many of the other smartphones in this industry.
Right.
So if you get the phone, not only do you get 32 gigs of storage on this device, it also has 1 gigabyte of RAM.
That is the only even thing. That's the only thing close to a beef I have with my current Nexus One. Getting a couple of running out of internal memory errors, and it's.
But you can always, that's true. Because even if I have the card, I still have to try to move stuff over to the card.
It's only become a slight inconvenience after literally a couple of years, and that's the only beef I've got with this phone. This is the only reason that I'm even thinking about changing over.
Wow.
Maybe more megapixel camera. You're paying for the features you want and stuff like that. But I'm not sure that I am not sure that the features that I want are worth the money I'm going to have to pay for it. This Joker is just fine. Take off them old apps that I ain't using. Mm-hmm. I'm just running out.
So 32 gigs.
Dude,
is what you get coming out of the box. Also, in addition to that, though, HTC is offering you an additional deal. If you get the phone, they're going to bundle with that 25 gigabytes of free Dropbox powered storage. You'll also get,
I got
25. You also get Beats audio sound.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And you also get a feature called Media Link, which is strictly from HTC.
Yeah.
You'll get, and this is something I'm happy about. If you are a Google Wallet fan or something that you were looking for, this will come with the NFC chip, which means that you can take your wallet with you, make payments through their phone. It also has a 1.3 megapixel camera on the front, which is capable of a 720p video chat. You get an 1800 milliamp battery, and it comes with a 4G LTE radio. Right, so once you get on a carrier that has that, you'll have some pretty snappy 4G service. It will ship with the Android 4.0, the latest operating system there. And as far as price goes, we're looking at about $200 to $300, somewhere in there. And right now, it's only coming to AT&T in the United States. I know.
Why did you even go all?
I'm sorry.
No, you ain't.
Well, this isn't to say that the other carriers won't get it.
Eventually.
It just means that I think out of the box, AT&T is gonna provide this service, or at least be able to provide it. Just like we're seeing with Verizon getting the Galaxy Nexus first.
Right.
I still haven't seen what phone's gonna come to Sprint. But here's something that's really
T-Mobile, for that matter,
or T-Mobile.
Yep.
But here's something that I thought was also pretty cool. It's gonna allow you. It's gonna have an HDMI dongle that pops right into your television set.
That's what I'm talking about.
What this means is you can finally watch movies and play video games on your television set in 1080p and audio.
And it's awesome.
And that's awesome. I mean, to me, that's something we've been waiting for quite a long time.
That is a feature that I can
because you can't get that on every phone.
Nope, that's a feature that I can pay for. I'm loving the couple that I've seen with docking stations that expand the keyboard to something more conventional and makes it more akin to an old school laptop, and the processing power in there is close enough.
Right.
Those are the two features: the idea of a laptop-esque docking station and throwing it out. Well, they are essentially the same thing.
Right.
Just making it extensible to larger platforms. They're essentially the same thing. The ability to tease those out to larger platforms, that would be a feature I would pay for.
That's pretty cool.
I'll pay for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll buy that.
Now, I think it's a neat idea, and I don't know about you, Mike, but I really wanted that in my current phone.
Yeah.
Because think about it. You can record videos, or you can play Netflix right there from your phone. Hook it up to a television set.
You can do it using a number of VNC clients. You can do it using a couple of. It's a roundabout software solution, but it ain't HDMI. Plug that joker in and I'm on. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
And you're talking about 1080p. You're not talking about 720p. You're talking about high definition video and audio.
That's what I'm talking about.
To your television set via your mobile device.
Yep. I know all about it.
That's awesome.
I know all about it.
So,
see, are you rub it in?
But I'm just saying, I'm doing it.
So with your iPhone?
No, but with my computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now you can do this with your phone.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
We should be beating
him. I can buy an adapter for it for my iPhone though.
Okay.
Why aren't we beating him right now?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. We should be watching movies in here or something. Big old TV screen.
You get Netflix?
Yeah. That's how I was watching Son of Anarchy.
Cool.
On your phone?
I mean, not on my phone, but on my computer. I could do it on my phone though.
If you wanted to.
Yeah, if I wanted to.
All right. Well, before we go take pictures, let me tell you what we have after that break. We're going to talk about Facebook. Yeah. We're talking about Facebook. We have some new numbers about their mobile app and just how many people they're sending over to third-party companies. Also, we're going to talk more about the Oscars last night. What do the numbers say? And you know how we are about social TV. We're going to give you some numbers and just see how well did it perform against the Grammys as well as the Super Bowl. So that and much more.
That's a good tease there, man.
After the break. Thank you. So with that, pull out your cameras, y'all. Let's take some pictures and see what you guys are doing and what you're up to.
What are you wearing?
We call this Daily Booth.
Daily Booth.
All right, Daily Booth is where we go to take pictures. It's a free website. You can go there right now. It's www.dailybooth.com. You can use your webcam, use your cell phone, and just upload a picture. And once you do, share that URL with us right here in the chat room. Let me say hi to Ego Ant, who walked in a few minutes ago. Thanks for joining us. Been enjoying your pictures, by the way. Although they weren't necessarily on Daily Booth. I saw your kids looking really cool beans. All right. I want you to share that URL with us, and we'll take a look at it. All right. Well, looking at Derek's screen first, it looks like Ego Ant has posted his picture. It says, "I'm back. Guess who's back?" Hey, man. Welcome back, man. We missed you.
Indeed.
Thoroughly enjoy having you back, man. It's not the same without you. It's not the same.
Spoon.
I also want to say what's up to Danielle Baldwin, who took a picture. Got a new hairdo.
The tick.
And she says, "Damon, yeah, I didn't know what to do with it when I got it cut off about a week ago." She has a new hairdo, by the way. Danielle Baldwin is one of our favorites, one of our biggest supporters. Definitely appreciate
on the ground
her.
floor from the early days.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Tim Arthur also posted a picture as well. You may have to refresh it on your screen. But Tim Arthur has posted one. I see Mike Render is taking one right now. Tim Arthur got a new hair.
He's more like a hair don't. More like a hair don't.
He says, "Happy Monday." What's up, man? Yeah, Tim has a new hairdo,
which has less hair than his previous hairdo.
Yeah, it's not all the way cut off, but it's
thusly
it's not the. Don't. He looks less like George Clooney now than he did before.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Maybe that's what he was going for. But either way, thank you for sharing that picture, sir.
It was close.
Yeah, well, I mean, either way it looks fine. You know, a little gray here, a little gray there. It's all cool. Yes. I thought about cutting it off, but I always cut it off at the wrong time. Like, I cut it off when it's, like, cold outside, and then I grow it back when it's hot. Like, that makes no sense. Like, your head gets cold in the winter, therefore you need an afro. In the winter, you don't need as much hair because your hair would sweat, or your head would sweat. So you cut your hair off.
All right, I posted the picture.
All right, so Mike Render posts a picture as well. We'll see what he has. I know he took a picture of himself, and I wasn't ready.
Y'all was ready?
I wasn't ready.
Look natural.
See, so he says, "See us? This is what we look like today. This is me not ready for the picture."
That's what we're wearing.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I wasn't looking at the camera.
Look, he's the only one that's ready.
Yeah, he's always the one that's only ready.
Well, that's apparently that's the advantage of being the man with the cam.
Yeah, you can pretty much take a picture whatever you want.
I'm just saying, natural.
You can snap it whenever.
Natural
you're
elements
ready to
I capture.
Okay, well, you got
Daily
us.
Booth.
You got us, man.
As you looked at Daily Booth.
All right, well, let's move
Parallel
on then
universes.
to our next story. Let's talk about Facebook. So some of the numbers that we're seeing here is that when Facebook filed for its IPO, it revealed that it had 425 million mobile users. So this story here, we're going to be looking a great deal at what's happening with Facebook's mobile strategy and look at some of its numbers. So out of 850 million users, I would say about half of those are mobile users. I would be one of those. I think part of my morning process is roll over, check email, see if anything happened. Then I go to Facebook to see what updates I have.
That's all just so wrong.
Well, it's pretty much like and I'm still in the bed now. See, the alarm just went off on my phone, and I'm checking to see what's going on, right? And I usually use their app because the app seems to be fast. I hate the web version. It's like I gotta log back in. It's like, oh, really? Please don't make me log in again. But anyway, so about 425 million people are using their mobile app. So that's pretty cool. Now, from this, Facebook says that they send over 60 million people to third-party apps every single month. Now, 425 mobile users, 60 million of those are going to outside apps. Now, you're probably asking yourself, okay, that's cool, but give me an example of what one of those apps would look like. Well, I got two that I want to share with you. The first one is called Food Spotting, which I don't know if it's something that we can. I don't know because I don't think I've used. I think this is an iPhone only app, to be honest with you. Oh. And so for Mike, I think you can do this. But from what I understand, Food Spotting is sort of a place where you can take pictures of your food and you can talk about, sort of rate the different foods that you have. And that's really kind of cool. And then if you're in the area, you can say, oh, here's a really neat dish that I might be interested in. I can go over here and get it. So according to this, part of the 60 million of those are going to places like Food Spotting. and they're using the Facebook's Open Graph to do this. And it says that basically, since they in this case being Food Spotting, since Food Spotting has gotten in line with Open Graph from Facebook, they've seen an increase in their visits and shares in the factor of 3. I don't really know how to calculate that exactly.
300%.
A factor of 3. I don't know what that means.
I mean, it's typically that would mean it's
like 3 times more.
Yeah, up by 300%.
300%.
300%.
Oh, that's pretty good. Now clearly that's some good sign. You know, if you're
that's a very strong metric.
A company that says, hey, look, we have an app. We're hooked up with Facebook, and they're sending us a number of new visitors that we wouldn't have seen had it not been for Facebook. You know, if I'm a vendor or if I'm an app developer, this probably would mean, you know what, maybe I need to hook up with Facebook and get some more views. This is really good for their numbers. Another example is Yahoo has also jumped on board. As a matter of fact, within the last 2 weeks, they have something called the Yahoo News articles, which basically says that as visitors use Yahoo's app or their service, they can share those articles that they're reading with their friends on Facebook. They have seen their traffic via their mobile web app jump by a factor of 3.5.
350%, if I understand what they're saying.
That is pretty much, that's what it's saying there. So again, another example.
Wow.
Now, according to their numbers, Facebook is saying, look, out of the 60 million people who visit these apps, they are creating more than 320 million visits to those apps.
I gotta tell you, that sounds way, way high, and I'm wondering if there is something in how they're collecting those metrics that make one-click visit kind of duplicative, in as much as maybe there are 3 different sections that should only register as 1 visit, maybe registers at 3. That's a lot. That's a heck of a lot. 350%. Just by, wow. I mean, that's just, it's hard to believe. I'll just leave it at that. Wow.
So I guess let me ask you, as I look around the room, Mike is playing on his phone right now. I can't think of anything right now. I don't use either of those. I don't use Food Spotting. I don't use Yahoo News articles. But are there any other apps that you guys can think of that Facebook is connected with? Not talking about mobile apps specifically. Are there any mobile apps that you guys use that somehow ties in with Facebook's mobile feature?
Other than Twitter, I don't even think that really counts with the criteria you're asking. No, I really don't do a lot of mobile Facebooking, in as much as I want the bigger screen to see all the stuff that I want to see, and I don't stay on Facebook that long anyway.
What about things like Instagram? Or I don't know if they have one.
Flipboard.
Or does that connect with Facebook? I mean, is there from, like, if you go into the Facebook app, is there something that says when I click on something in Facebook app, it takes me to the mobile app of Flipboard?
The other way around. Like, if I click on something through Facebook, it will take me to the mobile version of
Tim Arthur chimes in with Pinterest, and maybe that's going to be the next thing that gets me locked into Facebook. Right now, I don't get in there that much.
Is Pinterest, and I don't know because I don't use Pinterest. We were talking about Pinterest last night.
Yeah,
it is definitely much a female right now driven to the most extent.
Really?
Yeah, I don't use it. I see notices where friends keep following, like, "Hey, Damon, so and so just followed you."
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same way. It's one of those. It's one of those things that I keep reading a lot about, and it's piqued my curiosity, just not enough to jump in there and play around yet.
So, is there a Pinterest mobile app? I know there's a web version, but my assumption would be if I'm within Facebook, I click a picture or something that says Pinterest, will it take me to a Pinterest mobile app? And I'm looking at Mike right now because I think he knows. He was nodding his head like, yeah, Pinterest, yeah.
Nah, I don't even use it.
Okay, what about
I don't know
what about
what, Flipboard?
No, your friend, does she use Pinterest? Because you were nodding your head when I said girls. You were like, yeah.
I don't know if she uses the mobile version, but she like sells what's it called? But she sells like something like it's similar to Avon, but it's not. Okay. But she uses it for that.
Oh, gotcha.
You mean Mary Kay?
No, it's something else, like something 31.
Okay, I give me.
Yeah, but it's like similar to those type of companies.
I understand.
Okay. Well, Tim says he acknowledges. He says no. It is a Pinterest is, a matter of fact, a mobile app, and therefore that's probably.
I didn't want to say so.
Okay. Yeah, because I definitely don't know. Egoin says a couple times a week I pin a bunch of stuff. It really does get shared a lot more than standard content, it seems. Yeah, I think every time I turn around, I mean, Pinterest is really one of those.
Yep, that's what I keep saying.
One of those sites that it can just keep talking about. It's similar to a couple other services that we've mentioned in the past.
Tumblr. It's got a couple of. A lot of people seem to be drawing similarities to Tumblr and Picasa and what's the other one? It escapes me right now, but it seems to be doing a lot of what those other share sites do, but does it better. And apparently this with Pinterest is all in the interface. Again, don't want to speak authoritatively until I jump in there myself. But
I really wish that I would feel like I feel the need to do it. I just don't feel the need. Like I almost feel like, gosh, I should get in there just so I can know what's going on.
Welcome to my feelings about Facebook.
But I really just don't. There's like nothing there that says, gosh, I got to get on it. You know. And then my problem is when I get on it, I'm gonna be behind. Because like, oh man, what do you mean, Damon? We've been doing Pinterest for a year, and I'm like,
so you got to be a first adopter, or you don't adopt.
No, I think eventually I do. I mean, it's just like
the iPhone,
which is I won't say it's never gonna happen, but yeah, it's like that. Or browsers. Sometimes I'm slow.
Stumble upon that's it. Going.
I'm slow to kind of move. It could happen.
So I should download.
But
Pinterest.
it all really depends on if I see a value or a need. As a matter of fact, a couple of things that Eileen has been talking about for quite a long time, and I'm just now kind of getting on them. And as I
mean, besides WordPress.
Yeah, besides WordPress, and that's probably one of those things that I'll eventually get on. Like I'm doing some different projects, and I'm using WordPress. So I'm beginning to kind of get comfortable with it.
I do WordPress projects, and I should be doing it for my own stuff. I'm just too lazy.
So this weekend, and this is kind of in line with where I was going, but this weekend I switched up from Discuss and Facebook comments on my blog to Livefire, which and I'll tell you how I got there. So Miss Eileen talks a lot about comment love, right?
And she is just not a fan of Discuss at all, and it does have its detractions.
Sure. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There are definitely some things there, and I was looking. So I was looking at something, comment love, and because she here's okay. Let me get through this quickly. So she turned me on to something called Just Retweet, right? And I got on there, and it's a really cool service. And I got on it, and I said, man, this is a neat idea. The idea is that you share things, you retweet other people's tweets, right? And in doing so, you can earn points for retweeting other people's stuff. Now, of course, you have the option to decide what to retweet. Some things you will, some things you won't. But either way, the concept was great because it motivates people to help you, even though they're getting sort of a payback in helping you. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah. The motivation is to help you, but it's also to help themselves too. So you're helping them help themselves. So anyway, my point being, I thought that was a great idea. So I said, well, what other things has Miss Eileen talked about that maybe went in one ear and out the other? Especially since she was talking about WordPress plugins, right? That's where I kind of turned off. I was like, that doesn't work.
That is where you kind of glaze over.
So I started looking at things like Comment Love, and I said, this is interesting. Comment Love would kind of do the same thing. It rewards you for commenting on people's blogs, which means you can get more comments on your blog because you're rewarding them for doing so. But I said, I can't do this with bloggers. So I found out something called Intense Debate, which is a Discuss like tool, which is comparable to Comment Love, Intense Debate, and Discuss and other things, and Livefire. So I kind of went through this roundabout way to finally realize maybe Livefire is kind of like the best of both worlds. You kind of get Discuss stuff and you get Comment Love stuff without having to pay for the Comment Love stuff.
Well, so it is the pay that's your.
You know me, I'm cheap when it comes to stuff like that.
You're frugal. Frugal is a much less judgmental term.
So anyway, I'm loving the ideas.
I'm not going to judge you.
I'm loving the ideas behind this. But Miss Eileen, man, she's talked about some things early on that I'm just kind of like, oh man, what else am I missing in this case? So I still like to say that Facebook is doing awesome with their mobile stuff, and I'm just now catching on.
Man, there's a waiting list for Pinterest.
For the mobile app?
Yeah. What's it? How you say it?
Pinterest? It's like interest with a P in front of it.
Yeah.
You
paying with your interest.
That's whack.
No, that's supply and demand, baby. That's building demand. That's marketing, yo.
No, okay. Make me wait.
Yeah.
Don't make me wait.
Like Gmail did back in the day, dude. You had to get invited into the club, and everybody wanted an invite.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember.
Lessons learned.
Well, let me
Harsh
change-
lessons learned on the field of battle, dude.
Yahoo Mail.
Yahoo.
Who?
All right, let's talk about the Oscars. As we talked earlier, the Oscars were on last night, hosted by Billy Crystal, and I have some numbers as far as how well did they do with via the social TV.
The artist, the silent movie cleaned up. It's like a love letter to Hollywood, and apparently Hollywood was real cool with that.
You know, they had to put a sign up that said, "This is a silent movie."
Well,
because people went in there upset when they said, "Wait a minute, there's no talking," and he said, "Yes, it's a silent movie." Dude. Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Like for real?
Yeah,
Like
the whole movie is like silent,
like the old school joints,
right? And it's
but it's like
awesome.
done in modern time.
No, I think it's done in old times, but I think they just.
I mean, like it's shot with modern technology.
Sure.
Okay, it's not made to look like the old
maybe.
There's a lot of black and white. It's mostly black and white, but there are some moments of color, not unlike Schindler's List, whereas when it is, and
they
yes,
said it did really good.
It cleaned
a silent movie.
It cleaned up the Oscars. The story, it's a great story.
Did they do like the old school stuff where like they show like the comments and stuff?
Dude, I haven't seen the movie, so I'm just
you
looking at me like I've seen it. No,
well, you seen everything.
I don't see everything.
This is a silent film. He ain't paying for that.
Yeah, I ain't seen.
Yeah, I gotta pay less money if I ain't gonna get no sound.
Give me half off. I only see but never hear. I should be half off.
There is sound, but it's mostly music.
But you can fill in the gaps of the story with your imagination.
With your imagination. That's apparently.
That sound like your movie, man.
Mike, if you ever.
Doesn't sound like his movie there.
No.
It does.
No.
Sound like something he would.
Yeah,
he could
really?
get to.
Are you serious?
No.
It won lots of awards.
If you think if it was my movie, I would have seen it already.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. That tells you I don't really want to see it.
But you saw the other movie, The Notebook.
The Notebook is a good movie.
Could that have been silent and still been good?
No, because you would miss some of the stuff in this movie.
See, Sucker Punch could have been silent and it still would have been good for me. I'm just saying.
Sucker Punch would have got an even lower score. All right, let me move on.
You ain't got to say a word.
Let's
talk
about some of these numbers.
Yeah, give me the numbers.
All right, so looking at the Oscars last night, we're going to look at just how well they performed, and we're going to look at what were some of the highlight moments based upon your tweets or updates.
I wanted to open my computer or my cell phone and do some live tweeting during this live event. I was just exhausted. My band played Friday and Saturday. I did a lot of other personal business, and Sunday I was just dead. All I could do was sit upright on the couch.
Donkeys and zebras.
There are two different agencies that are doing some measuring, and they're not exactly on, but they're close enough. That's Bluefin Labs and Trenderer. And Bluefin says that the social mentions of the Oscars last night brought in about 3.8 million mentions. Trender says that they have about 4.6 million mentions for the show, and it also includes the red carpet. Now, according to Bluefin, there were a number of top 10 moments during the event that we can measure. And I'm going to give you a few of those. I'm not going to give you all 10. I'll give you maybe the top 5. The first one coming in at 24% was the celebrity jabs. These are comments taking shots at the celebrities and the hosts. So that was some of the updates. Number 2,
sounds like some fun.
Hugo and the Artist at 12%. These were comments referencing Hugo, which won several awards, and the Artist, which won Best Picture.
Hugo was the Steven Spielberg kind of semi-animated one, or am I thinking about the other one?
Steven Spielberg. I think that was not Spielberg, but the guy that did Las Vegas or whatever that movie was.
Remember?
Huh? Yeah, I don't think it was Steven Spielberg. I think it was another guy. Tim would know because he always talks about it. Tim, whenever we get to 40 seconds, he'll write it in.
Yeah.
So that one did fairly well, 12%.
Because he is greatness incarnate.
Well, he knows everybody's names. That's the thing that he's good at.
That's what I'm saying, greatness incarnate.
Number 3, watching the Oscars, 9%. People simply mentioning that they were watching the Oscars. This was some of
Scorsese.
Thank you, Tim. I knew he was going to jump in.
Love that guy.
Yeah. Number 4, Meryl Streep and Viola Davis, 6%. These were comments about Meryl Streep and Viola Davis, who were both competing for the Best Actress in a Leading Role. And number 5 is George Clooney and Stacy Keibler at 5%. General commentary on how good George Clooney and Stacy look together.
Stacy Keibler, former wrestling babe?
Keibler or Kebler.
Keibler. Stacy Keibler, former WWE valet, as Dusty Rhodes would say.
Your boy George Clooney / Tim Arthur. Hey, man, he can pull them.
Dude.
Let's look at some of our mobile apps. According to GetGlue, one of the leading portals for the social TV interaction, they checked in at 5 times over last year, 170K in 2012 versus only 31K in 2011. So what we're seeing here is clearly more people are using these different apps to check in and interact with or about television shows. Now, if you look at the numbers between the Grammys, the Oscars, and even the Super Bowl, the Grammys in this case won out. I mean, the Oscars came in at only 4 million.
The Grammys won out over the Super Bowl.
It was like 13 million on the Grammys.
Really?
Yeah, 13 million. So you're talking about.
I figured the Oscars would be like a distant second after the Super Bowl, and the Grammys would be a third.
No,
shows you how out of touch I am.
Grammys 13 million. Super Bowl was like 12 million, 12.4, 12.5 million. And the Oscars, you're talking about a 9.2 million split between the two. So clearly, the Grammys is where people were at.
Wow.
All right, we have one other story I want to get to after the break. We're going to do a blog roll in a moment, but I want to tell you, we'll talk about a new battery that could bring wireless charging to your phone. Yes, and that includes
the industry's been teasing that for a minute.
That includes you. So let's move on to blog roll, and we'll see what you guys are writing, what you're putting out there into the blogosphere.
Roll in up your posts.
All right, this is where we take a look at what you guys are writing. We definitely want to give you a part of the stage today so that people can go out and check out what you've been putting your hard work into.
Rolling up your posts.
And if I'm not putting your post out there, by all means, let me know, and I'll make sure to put you in my reader.
You have not because you asked not.
That's it.
Come on, kiddies.
We have a couple coming from Basic Blog Tips. That's Miss Eileen Smith's blog. That's basicblogtips.com. Again, that's basicblogtips.com.
Miss Smith, if you bathed.
We got 2. One coming from Nikki Purvey, which is called Top 5 WordPress Plugins for Fashion Blogs. And the second one is Why Don't You Tell Me What's in a Name? The first one here, there are a number of, plugins. Again, we're talking about WordPress, so there's tons of plugins, things that you can easily plug into your account. One of those things that they recommend, and I'll just kind of give this to you as a sort of a teaser, is there's number 5 is what they call WordPress CEO by Joost de Valk. That's with a V. According to this, you can edit each post's meta description, SEO, title, keywords.
Did you say CEO or SEO?
SEO.
Okay.
And 301 redirects and a bunch of other things you can do with this. So if you are running a fashion blog, having this at your disposal is probably good for you. Now, there are 4 other tips and plugins that you can get. I'll share these with you in the chat room to make sure you check her out and let her know that you are listening. There you go. Go check that out. The second one that she brought up was, why don't you tell me what's in a name? We're talking in this case about branding of your name. Who and what do people think of when they think of Mike Render or when they think of Derek Brinson? What does that come across to them?
World's funkiest man, of course.
What kind of brand are you building?
Photoshop, Halo, Sucker Punch.
Well, having and understanding this, obviously, you can begin to sort of capitalize on what you already know about your brand, or you can strengthen your brand. Some good details here from one of the owners and founders of Blog Engage, which we hear Miss Eileen talk about quite a bit. It looks like Brian has written a blog. Awesome work, Miss Eileen. She is definitely connected. Let me share this link with you guys as well. Make sure you go over there and check out this blog by Brian and give Miss Eileen your support. couple other posts. We got one coming from Aaron K. White. This one has done exceedingly well over the last 24 hours. We were talking to him last night on the Tech Monks, and I think last night by 10, 11 o'clock, he had received almost 600 plus visits to this particular blog.
Nice.
The name of it is called, drumroll, Rapid Prototyping with Bootstrap. The way I understand it is it's something like what we do with Scrum, which is an agile methodology, but they're doing some things more regularly. Like within the course of 12 hours, they would check in every 2 hours, and they would connect with their client every 2 hours to get some feedback. Where we might wait an entire week, they're doing it
every 2 hours
very quickly, and because of that, they're able to get some things done.
Well, you got to have buy-in from the client. The client's got to commit to
that schedule.
Yep.
But here's some more details on that. Looks like he's very excited about it. He wanted us to read on it and get some more information. So make sure you check out AaronKWhite.com. AaronKWhite.com. Check out his latest story, Rapid Prototyping with Bootstrap.
Heard a lot about Bootstrap. I want to check that out.
Now, let me send you over here as well. You can go to my blog. I've written a number of posts this weekend. I have 3. One is called Yeshua, a study of Matthew's gospel. We looked at tithing. This is really kind of a live blog from C3 Church. Something that you might be interested in. Go check it out. Go to DamonNolan.com. Again, it's DamonNolan.com. You can also check another one called Learn How to Speak in a Decision Maker's Language. I learned something about this from these consultants we've been working with. Right. And I wanted to share some of the things that I've been noticing from the consultants, ways that we can improve how we talk to decision makers. What is their language and how do we speak it?
This intrigues us.
I'm going to share this URL with you right here. Make sure you check it out. Leave a comment. My new live fire.
What was the third one?
And the third one is called The Great Depression and its Effects on Kappa Alpha Psi. This is a part of my dissertation. I'm doing some historical review on the organization, which is what I'm going to use in my dissertation. So if you want, you can check it out and say what's up. Cool beans. All right. With just moments to spare, let me jump on to our last story. It is a new card. It's a very thin card at that, which would allow you to wirelessly charge your phone. Coming from Gizmodo, it's called inductive charging, which means you'll never have to plug your phone up again. You don't have to walk around with any add-on solutions or any built-in batteries that make your phone any more clunky than it already is.
Drop in a chat room.
Because Duracell has created a wafer-thin adapter card that slides right alongside your battery. And I believe it's supposed to rest right in between your battery and your phone. Either way, you don't have to hook up any more cords. It'll be wirelessly charging as you go, which is pretty awesome. It is designed to work, and I'm going to make sure I share it with you. Some of the details on this are sort of fuzzy, but the idea behind it is that simply this phone, so these original equipment manufacturers will have to get in line with what Duracell is creating. But if you can, it basically interfaces with your phone and the battery, and it will basically facilitate a charge
90 seconds.
No matter where you are, as long as you can get sort of this wireless thing here.
That's cool.
Sweet. Miss Eileen says, great blog post today.
Indeed.
There was a lot of really good ones.
Where's that other one you were just talking about?
This one is not a blog post. This one is a story.
Drop it.
Anyway, it's 90 seconds. And again, you can find this last story, which is not coming up for me at the very second. It is coming from Gizmodo. Okay, there I go. I got
60 seconds.
All right, let me play the music, and I'll put the URL in there. So thanks for joining us today, y'all.
Indeed.
This is our exit music. I want to say thank you to you. As I turn to those in the chat room right now, I want to say thank you to Alan Tran, LL, that's Dyslexic in America, Ego Ant, that's Aaron Clifford, our brother from the north. Also, Miss Eileen Smith, Tim Arthur, and all of you listening live in archive. Thank you for what you do. Don't forget, we're here every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on blogtalkradio.com. Don't forget, you'll get the higher audio, the high fidelity sound over there on youtube.com/Damon Nolan.
Won't take but a minute.
And it's going to do it for us, y'all. Don't forget, we'll be there Wednesday at the Triangle AMA. So if you haven't got your ticket, go get it now.
We missed the Netflix story on Gizmodo.
All right, so it's going to do it for us. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. We'll check you guys out tomorrow. Until then,
this episode is brought to you by the letter D.
Deuces.